Okay, another success story from Manish from US, where he cleared PMP recently. So the moment I show the certificate, again his face is coming brighter, even though he has seen it sometime back and he posted it. The joy is always there, Manish. Is that right?
Exactly.
So how is your LinkedIn getting busy now? Pretty tight packed.
Yeah, I should say thank you very much, Sriram, for your wonderful coaching and in time providing all such content and everything, which is keeping my LinkedIn busy these days. Uh, because I achieved that project management certification, and people are congratulating. Couple of those wanted to know a little bit kind of tips or tricks or
Hmm.
some sort of shortcuts. So everybody who is seeking
Mhm.
all such quick advices, I would say if you do not have any coach or any pattern in your study,
Hmm.
probably your journey will be little longer. So
Hmm.
better you have somebody who can continuously coach you. That is most important.
Hmm. Makes sense. Makes sense. Super. Thanks for that words and congratulations from the ShriLearning team. In spite of coaching, there is something needed called personal discipline, right? So even though you tell, hey, you read, you have to read. Everybody listen it, but only few take it intake, right? There are a lot of things behind the screen. See, classes is one portion of our life. We take 35, 40 hours of classes. That gives a hint about the subject. May not be every line in the book will be in the classes. It will give a hint. But from that hint, how much you take the essence out of it and how much you want to do read continuously. That's very important. When I see the classes, I see very few percentage of the people who take the essence out of it, take notes on the classes, and start following that and as a reading habit. So credit goes to you for putting all this effort, and it's not an easy word. It is always a tough one, but again, the tough one gives a good standard output, which makes us to feel great. It's not about the certificate alone. The way we are going to use it in our corporate life, that will change the way we work. That's what pretty interesting. Yes, Manish, you can give some tips about your reading habits and give about exam. Is it a center based or a proctor based? How was it? Is there any hurdle in that? Some story about that will be nice to hear.
Sure. So to start with quickly, I would say that I kept listening all your nice advices and suggestions, and more or less it was, as you rightly mentioned, dependent on the person how you take it. But I religiously followed whatever you mentioned, and for instance, writing all the processes, formulas, and 15 key processes every day. So this has basically created a kind of framework in your mind, and while even going to the bed, you can quickly revise within your mind. Like it doesn't take like more than a minute to go through everything in your head. So that's the one. Second, what all suggestions you kept giving to us, or maybe Rahul, sometimes that you go through the exam outline in time and other stuff. So that was kind of rituals which I kept following every day. A couple of things which are really nice and unmatched. I don't know about other learning coaches or sessions with other people, which was kind of unique, I should say. I never saw that before, that you keep giving us questions, one question. So the timing for me was like before I leave my bed, the question was there in my mobile. So even with my like half of my sleep, I was able to see this. Sometimes I was answering like, wrong, and that point of time I was feeling bad and tired that, okay. So half of your brain is working. If your answer goes in the right direction, then you feel really happy about it. So that was the day start. And day closing was always like 10 question answer that you were giving us. So I was solving everything every day.
That's pretty good. I know there's a 10 question system of everyday posting from Rahul. It really gives insight, right? We answer some, we also see the justification next day morning. and we get a clarity why it is right, why it's wrong. Because many a time we do this questions guesswork, maybe A, maybe B, right? It is like a jackpot. You try, yes, man, it failed. but
It's fair.
but a good thing is some people take that question why it went wrong. Am I wrong about the concept, or I didn't read the question properly? So those are the learning which will turn your mindset. See, even though we come with the 10, 20 years of experience in industry, when you put us a question, it's going to be tough. See, my mom may be cooking well in the kitchen for so many years. Suddenly, if you're going to ask her, Mom, how you did that, she will take few minutes to reply. See, you may be expert, but as a question, it won't come out, right? So
Right.
it'll take time to do that. So I like the habit what you did as a regular way you do listen to questions. So which book you prefer, Manish? As you say that this book, I felt solid in the line of learning.
Sure. So actually, I started reading with Rita book chapter wise, and thanks to you that all the content you have provided. Then once that chapter was over, so I used to take test. And again, your advice is just once you are taking test from Rita, don't miss the same chapter test from Headfirst also. So I
Mm.
kept doing that. And Headfirst was also covering some no dumb question section. So you can probably go back and check why this concept is not really, working for you, or something your understanding is a little bit not aligned, so that you can keep doing this. So Rita and Headfirst, as a first go, I finished, like, I more stressed upon Rita because it's more elaborative.
Okay.
um, way Headfirst represented is fine, but it's more like comic book.
They give a story that I know headfirst is for the people who want to just understand what it is.
Right.
It may not go depth. Okay, got you. Got your point. Got your point. Fantastic. So now you prepared, and how many practice exams you would have taken? Full exams.
See, I have gone for the Prepcast thing, and which is definitely the must go for every single person willing to appear for this test. And Prepcast is pretty nicely organized.
Hmm.
Until like this site went down a couple of days back. I don't know what upgrade they have done it, but definitely that 10 minutes break was missing after 89 question in real test.
Oh, they removed it now?
I don't know. The site was down for some maintenance, and that's what been published. I don't know if they have included
I,
that.
I I heard they changed that timing system. Instead of hours, they made it into 240 minutes. From there, they start deducting as if the real exam. That they did it.
Okay.
And the break part, I had to check. I'm sure they're going to simulate the same what PMI does. Uh,
Mhm.
but um, but tell me, after the exam, would you do analysis of all the question? Do you spend time?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because my first exam, if you're sorry, if you're talking in terms of a prepcast
Yes.
context,
Yes.
then definitely yes, a big yes. Because first exam was a disaster to me. I should not say much disaster, but my kids were playing around, and noises were all, I was not able to focus. I was not even knowing whether it's going to halt on 89 questions, like it's going to give me 10 minutes break.
Hmm.
Then I forgot to mark the flag thing, right? And because of that, I knew some of the questions, and which I developed a bad habit out of 10 questions, that I can always go back to question number 3 and say, oh no, my answer is not B, it's A maybe, right?
Right.
So out of 200, then I slipped which one was the one which I always wanted to go back and do this. So it was a little bit frustrating. What I scored was 66% into first webcast exam.
Hmm.
And immediately I contacted you that what I'm doing wrong with that, right? And you clearly told me that, Manish, go with every single answer, whether it is right or wrong, check with your logic. By doing such analysis itself took me more than the hour. I believe it's double the time I invested for exam. The analysis was two times of the
Yeah,
exam time,
of
8 hours.
course, of course. Analysis is not easy. It's so painful because you have to see your own mistakes, which we never do in our life. We don't like to see our mistakes, isn't it? We don't like. And when I ask you to do that for hours of time, sometimes you feel it's okay. Let's go to next exam. But actually, only few people take the time to analyze the question carefully before jumping to next exam. The more you analyze, the next exam is little more better. If today is 60%, the next exam will go 63 or 64. Sometimes drastic jump to 75% possible.
So in my case, first was 66. Then I collected feedback from you. I had chat with my batchmates from
Mhm.
ShriLearning.
Okay.
And then I started concentrating, playing around with the prepcast, and my score swinged up to 77.5,
Ooh.
which was very, very positive and a morale boosting kind of thing for me.
Great.
So,
Right. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Hard work pays back. So tell me about your main exam. So is
so
it
what I did basically, my target was to get it done somewhere end of October or like first or second week of November max. And I was pretty much looking forward for the exam center. I booked everything nicely with like 15 or 20 days, like a cushion, so that I can prepone anytime I wanted. So what happened, like I forgot to, because that was something which I was always thinking, probably, I don't know, for some reason, I should keep this cushion with me, and which was very good of me of planning such things, because here in Alberta side, like snow happens very, very early stages. So like 15 days back, snow started happening.
oh
And the moment it happened, driving in snow is really, really impossible.
yeah.
Center was like 30 kilometers from the place where I'm living. So it was a disaster. Only slot which I got was 8 a.m. in the morning. For that, I had to really, really be very carefully driving and going there. So I felt like a kind of disaster for me. So what I did, I rescheduled my exam, and I decided to take it from my home itself.
Oh,
So I carefully chosen the slot because I don't wanted my kids or family disturbing me during the exam. So I chosen somewhere morning 6:30,
mm, mm.
which worked
Makes
for me.
makes pretty right sense. Okay. So which city you are now in
I'm in Calgary, Alberta. It's
Alberta?
a
Okay.
Canadian province. Yeah.
Okay. So good snow time now. Mm, okay. Cardio, great. So, how was this experience with the Proctor? I know you may have good internet facility. You may have no power interruption. These two are ruled out. So, and you utilized your office laptop or it is a personal laptop.
Personal. So I don't mix personal and professional stuff. I do my personal things separately, completely.
Very good, very good. Because in office laptop we have firewall, and this a firewall can interrupt our PMI application running. So that's a problem
Exactly.
there. So please don't
Right.
do that if anybody want to do. And tell about the exam starting. How many minutes before you have to be there for proctor?
See, I was not trying to make a little more extra cushion, but like morning hours are when you really have to get up. Being, as a Indian, we used to have a habit of taking bath, shower every day in the morning to start as a fasting course. So I took like a 1 hour before, and I set up everything. I get up with my coffee, tiny toast, and a glass of water along with it. So I finished my thingies because I was thinking whether, examiner may not like it, whether I'm eating, drinking, and, giving this exam same time. But when exam started actually, so what they did, they allowed mobile for me to take the pictures of my driver license and other stuff like room. They wanted to have a like 360-degree view. One thing which was a little bit crazy, they did not allow me even a white paper sheet, a blank white paper
Yeah.
with a pencil.
Mm, mm, mm.
So they really did not allow me. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
No, they don't allow. As per the proctor, you cannot use a paper. You can use only when you go for a center-based exam. That too, they will give a white, plastic sheet, laminated sheet in which you have to write. At the home, no paper pencil allowed because they cannot they cannot say that it's the right one. Maybe we use a sheet which already has a filled answers, so they'll be a little worried on that.
Mhm.
That's why they don't allow it. Maybe in future things can change with the technology improvement, possibly. But for now, this is how it is. And are they asking for an ID card before the exam starts? Okay, you have to show the ID card.
Right. So I got a mail. Yes. No, not just showing. They wanted a picture of it,
Picture of it.
and
Hmm.
yeah, they sent me some link on as a SMS to me,
Hmm.
which allowed my iPhone camera, front camera, to take a picture of that, which is, it was like an inverted one. It's not like a normal camera. So you don't do left, it goes right, and it takes time, and then you become nervous that what's happening. My time was like 6:30, whether they will count this time or not, and I was really feeling nervous. So I asked the teacher, I mean that person, whether can I have a glass of water. She allowed me to have that. Then I started. Then I asked, requested, is there any way I can, use my back camera, because all the fonts in the driver license are very tiny, including my signature. It's not like Indian driver license. It's a little different. So she allowed me. She sent me another link, which worked for me, and finally,
So
we started.
got you, got you, got you. I know this exam starting few minutes a bit nervous because we don't know whether are we doing it right, are we doing wrong. But only thing is, only when the first question comes up, your time starts. So
Right.
until then, the time does not start. So you are in the process of getting authentication. You don't need to worry. You have to just stay with them. That is what I expected. Very good. Great work. And how the questions were, the first 10, 15 questions, how do you felt?
It was a little bit time consuming. I should say probably they have designed in a way that you should spend more time than create pressure on yourself. So I did three, four, five questions. Then I saw like my time is really running out. I started skipping quickly. One thing which I really liked about the main exam is you have a navigator which is superior compared to Prepcast Navigator. So you only have to see the packet of 89 questions. So you can go back and forth in between. You don't have to see like 200 questions and you are confused like where to go. So that was a very nice way of arrangement.
Okay. You can navigate to any question, any number, whatever you want. Right.
Right.
Right. I know that's a good one. So first 89 questions, how long it took for you to complete?
Well, I took a feedback of my batchmates. So they told me like close to 135, you should take a break. If you don't do this, probably you will miss the rest part of it. So it's up to you whether you want to miss previous or later. So I stopped around 135 point something, close to 136. I stopped.
Perfect, perfect. So 89th question there, you took a break, you to refresh yourself, and you came back and started it. So did you
Yeah.
took all 4 hours?
But that recording window kept working for me. Like they
Uh,
keep recording all the 10 minutes. Meanwhile, my kid, they enter into the room, they started changing the dress. Then I came back and looked into the camera. Oh my God, they're recording everything. You go back, shoo away.
Actually, you should not allow anybody to the room.
Yeah, but for the break, I thought that they will pause it, the recording side.
They'll be watching you all the time.
Oh
Thankfully, they
my
didn't
God.
say anything. Sometimes they'll ask you who are in the room, show the camera again, and they make sure that nobody at the room. See,
Okay.
there could be some mistakes can happen, right? So they'll be a little careful on it. Okay, so it's a good experience.
Another mistake, yeah, another mistake which happened quickly was, once this break happened, I started going out and feeling like, oh my God, I really got a big break. And my wife quickly started giving me another cup of coffee, and it took a little while. However, the clock started. So when I looked back, oh my God, I already have crossed almost like 5 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
so the
oh, oh.
question
So you
displayed
mean
on my screen. Yeah,
90th question has come and the timer has started.
exactly.
Ah, okay. Whether you come in or not, the exam will start.
Exactly. So as I saw,
Okay.
I just left the coffee cup then and there on the dining, and I came back. Oh my God, it's time. Thank you very much.
Okay. Your wife would have been cursing you. I made a special coffee for you, but you're not taking it.
No, she understood those things, and I mean, my instruction was silent and clear. If my door is closed, please, try to minimize the noise as much as you can, because everybody is doing work from home and kids are
True,
doing
true,
schools from home. So,
true.
it's a little bit
True, true,
busy sometimes.
true, true. Yeah, see, I always say that when we clear such a big exam, the first credit goes to the family. So more than a coach, more than you prepare yourself, family, right? So they don't support us. I don't think you'll sit and read 2 hours per day or 3 hours per day, right? That support is pretty important. So the backbone of a success is almost a family always. Great job.
Right.
Superb, superb. I'm happy to know all your success story here. Anything specific you want to tell about exam, which people can take it?
Sure. So two quick points. One is your videos, what we have learned during our classes, having full of information. To be honest, sometimes you keep telling us, but our brain gets choked this point of time because it's tons of information what you are delivering to us or to people, and they are not able to soak up. I mean, virtually it is impossible to soak up all the information you're delivering in that short span of time. So I
Right.
keep watching those videos couple of times, and they really have helped me a lot. Like number of times I'm going through it, my concepts were getting more solid, more confidence I'm gaining over it. And a few other videos over YouTube whenever I don't wanted to go through the book, reading all the black and white pages.
Hmm.
This was really helping me because videos are a little more interactive kind of thing.
Right, right. I understand. So the class videos you have to listen second time at least to get
Oh
a
yeah,
clue of it. Right, right.
it's
I,
very
I
much recommended.
I appreciate that point. Many a time I tell that when the classes are happening, 4 hours of information flowing in, we may not able to listen all at the same time. It will take little extra time to listen again to get the flow of it. Well said.
So what I did basically, I captured some of the index part of your presentation and I saved it as a wallpaper of my computer, personal computer, so that
Okay.
I can always, back and forth and relate those things along with my
Good,
49 processes
good,
assessments.
good, good. So you
Another
manipulate the resource well. Hmm. Very good.
Another important point which I noticed about the exam outline, which you and Rahul both keep telling us that you should go at least because that outline is basically workflow wise. It's like not really something. It's organized in a different way. So you read that.
Hmm.
So once I started reading that, I really felt the whole matrix is now transposed.
Ah, ah,
So are basically taking you through row wise, while this outline takes you to column wise.
Wow.
So once once you read that, you start your building your understanding completely differently. And now the most important part comes out of it. ITTOs, input, tools, techniques, output, which is really a big monster, I should say, and how you want to relate them each other, right? It's very confusing. If you start reading them, the way outline suggests you, they are pretty much, logically related with each other.
Right. Right.
Otherwise, if you are reading in chapter wise, you are really lost. How come this is coming like you are in a project charter section, integration? How come other documents are flying in and where it is coming from? I can probably expect the updation in the document, not the complete one. So that was clarity that I have got after reading that.
Fantastic. Good input, Manish. I appreciate it. Great. A lot of inputs from you. Really good one. And thanks for coming up after a heavy hobbyist work at the US time. We India now just woke up in the morning, early morning for us. Good.
Right, you are starting and we are closing same time. And
It was
one
so nice.
last point.
Hmm.
Thanks. One last point which I learned from other success story videos from our batchmates. One girl, I don't remember the name, she boosted morale a lot by saying if you are scoring in prepcast around 58, 59%, it's not too bad. You are more or less ready to attempt for the real examination, which really because I heard the stories of every other person is talking about more than 70s or 80s, and I was very much depressed after first like 66%. That too bad.
Yeah, true,
So
true.
all the other aspirants who are listening to the video can basically gauge themselves. If they are plus 55, they are on a right track. Keep doing this. Probably it
Right,
will take a bit like more time, but yes, you can
right.
do that.
You're absolutely right. I remember I took 53% when I started. Not in prep, some other exam by the time, 53. So I didn't feel bad, but I understood I can sit for 4 hours. That's understanding I got. So to make yourself sit 4 hours is a big deal, more than the exam result. That's how the things will start. After that, slowly it'll improve. See, first day we don't learn how to pedal a cycle. You will fall down, you get injured. It's okay. At least I know where the handlebar is, where the pedal is. That's what I want to know, right? So don't get down when the scores goes down, as you say rightly. Slowly it will pick up, but you should have the intention to analyze the question. That's important, right? There is no magic to improve the answer immediately for next exam. So that's a point. Yeah. Super. Thanks, Manish, and good wishes for your success. Quickly, so what is your domain you work and how you think this will help you, this learning?
See, I'm working as a technology consultant for some government company, and I'm basically a telecommunication engineer. And I did MBA also, but that did not give me that much leverage. I worked like a project management also in my
Mhm.
past profiles. So this is going to give me a lot of boost in terms of organizing so many tasks which are basically coming to you, flying to you otherwise, like they are not really organized.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm working more towards the connected cars and driverless and those kind of automated things.
Fantastic, fantastic. So already you are in a managerial role. Maybe you play this terminology of what we read now already, but now it's going to be a little more better organized, and the language will be more better in the international language. It will come up. Fantastic.
Exactly. I already have started using, and thank you so much, you and Rahul and the rest of the team supporting us and continuously working for us to make a success.
Great, Manish. Thanks a lot for coming up here, giving your valuable inputs. I'm sure it's going to help you many number of people and keep growing higher. Happy to see your LinkedIn very busy. Keep yourself more busy. Keep learning. and let all this year be successful for you.
Thank you very much, Sriram, and I appreciate your help and support.
Yeah,
We'll be connected for some other tests too.
sure,
Thank
sure.
you.
Thank you.